Did you know there are a few different ways you can use Outlook's calendar to visualize paid time off for your team? Well, if you stick with me, I'm going to cover all these methods, including my personal favorite, so you can have an easier time tracking PTO by just glancing at a calendar that looks something like this. So let's see how we can get that done. Alright, so as you can see here, I've already logged into my Outlook account and I've clicked on the calendar tab so you can see what I'm working with. On my end, I'm going to be starting from a completely blank slate. So you'll notice that if I skip ahead, there's nothing in my calendar. It is completely empty versus your own, which I'll imagine will be filled with entries of things like meetings, appointments, holidays, and whatever else you like to keep track of. Now, the goal for today, as I mentioned, is to put PTO data into this calendar here, because obviously keeping track of who's in or who's out is going to be a lot easier from this type of view as opposed to dealing with an old Excel spreadsheet or going through email chains, or God forbid, having to confirm with employees each time they take a vacation. From Outlook, we actually have a few options at our disposal, and I'm going to walk you through each one so you can decide ultimately what makes the most sense for you. And we're going to start with the simplest one, which is to create a new event for any type of request. The idea here is that you would label each request depending on what it is, put the person associated, select the times, and then click on Save. Once you do, it'll be added to your calendar and then you'll see all the events. Now, obviously this will be the most time consuming as you need to do it for each request. So if you're a larger organization, maybe this is not ideal. The next option, which is less manual, is to create a new calendar and then changing the permissions on the calendar to allowing others to edit it. The idea here is that each employee will be responsible for adding their own vacation or paid time off, and you would just need to manage it. Obviously, this is a lot less time consuming than the new event, but there are a few drawbacks, including not being able to do an approval system and also trusting your employees to enter the vacation whenever they request it. The last option, and by far my favorite, is to use some kind of employee leave management system that's going to automate a lot of this process and only needs a few quick steps to get set up. Now, I'm definitely biased when it comes to leave management tools, but I still think that the best one in the market right now is Vacation Tracker. Not only does it sync directly to your Outlook to provide you with real-time updates, but it also provides a system from within which managers can approve or deny requests without your involvement, thus solving that issue we had with the shared calendars in Outlook. There's currently a 7-day free trial right now that requires no commitment, so I highly suggest giving it a shot for yourself and seeing if you like it. All you need to do is click on the sign up for free button here, enter your information, and you'll be well on your way. On my end, since I already have an account, I'm just going to click on login, and I can show you how you can create a sync with Outlook to provide you those updates and not deal with manual entry ever again. Before you can create a sync to Outlook, it's important to ensure your account is set up properly, as we're going to need things like users and leave types in order to create that sync. When you first get started with Vacation Tracker, there's a pop-up with a tutorial that I highly recommend following along, as it'll help you get configured with the right settings that match your organization. If ever you close it by accident, you don't have to worry. If you click on the question mark here, there's the help section, and you can click take a quick tour to restart that whole process. Once you feel comfortable with the platform, have gotten everything set up, it is from the calendar section on the left-hand menu that we will create that sync to Outlook to get that real-time data. Alright, so I've gone and added leave for some fake employees to start filling up this calendar so you can get a better sense of what it looks like as employees request time off. And what we want to do is take what we see here and bring this into Outlook so that we don't have to jump between platforms to see employee availability. The first step is to create a new sync by clicking on sync with your calendar. And then we just need to choose what type of sync we want. In this case, we're focused primarily on the Outlook calendar sync, but do note that if you decide to use Google Calendar, you have a sync there, or you can sync to any calendar for that matter with an iCal link. Once we click on Outlook Calendar, we're going to be asked to connect our Outlook calendar. And then once that goes through, we'll have a few options to pick from before we click on Create Calendar Sync. We can choose to filter this sync by locations, departments, or labels, but if we leave it blank, it'll just automatically sync all the events. Then we just need to choose what calendar we want. In this case, I had created a shared calendar just for the fun of it. And now we're going to click on Create Calendar Sync. And as this starts to work, you'll notice that it's going to be adding all the events we just saw to our Outlook. So now if I go to Outlook and reload the page and ensure that the shared calendar is turned on, you'll see all those events we previously saw now appearing in Outlook. And this is great because we can choose to flick this on or off if our calendar becomes too cluttered. And there you have it, 3 distinct methods for adding PTO to your Outlook calendar. Ultimately, you just need to decide what makes the most sense for your organization right now. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thanks for checking it out. If you found it helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to stay in the loop about all things leave management. If you're curious about what else Vacation Tracker can do, I've put together this playlist that covers all the essential features, so you can take a look by clicking right here. And if you have any feedback whatsoever, or you want me to cover a specific topic, you can leave it right down below and I'll be sure to add it to my queue. Catch you in the next video.